Hello, my sewing friends. This is Friday Sews. I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room where I got a fair amount of sewing done this week. And I'm going to start off by telling you about this. Isn't this adorable? Well, maybe not adorable, but isn't it beautifully elegant? I just feel so elegant in it. Here's the thing about this top. My wonderful sweet friend Trish from Pinky's Farm has this top, and it's out of this fabric, and she just happened to cut two bodices front and two bodices back. And so when I saw her at the sewing expo, she said, "Hey, I've got this and it's extra, so I'm just going to give it to you and we'll just be twins." So I laughed, and I was like, okay. And so I put it together at the shoulder seams because all I had was the front and the back. And I was struggling because I didn't know what I was going to use to finish it. And I thought, well, I could just turn it under, but I don't want to do that. I really want bias binding, and I could turn the bias binding under so it wouldn't matter what it looked like. So I'll go looking through my stash. This is a Silky from Joann's. It's 100% polyester. And so I'm looking through my stash and thinking, what am I going to use for that? So I came up with this. Now this matches fairly well. I mean, I thought, yeah, I can work with that. So I cut a yard of it, went to cut the bias strips, did not cut them, but I went to put this away. And you know what I found? It was probably right next to it. This. I already had this fabric. I couldn't believe it. And then I vaguely remembered telling Trish, I think I have that fabric. So yes, indeed I do. So I was able to make the bias binding for the armhole and the neck out of this. So it matches perfectly. I love this top. It is McCall 7327. I did lower the neckline a little bit because it came up kind of high, but I am very happy with that. And instead of rolling the bias binding under like I normally would, if you can see how it's stitched on, and normally I would do this, but I thought, no, I think I like it like this. The thing is, on the armholes, I did the same thing, and these armholes come up a little bit high, and I know that if I had just done the bias binding like normal, they wouldn't come up so high. But you know what? They're not so high that they bug me, and to be honest, I don't care. It's fine. I am such a perfectionist, and who knows, maybe one day I'll go, I gotta fix those, and then I'll come back in and redo them. But for now, I'm very happy. I love this top. It is so easy to wear, and I had forgotten that I got some white, they're kind of like cropped pants. They're not really cropped. They're more like, what's the other term? It's like, they're just below my knee. So they fit so nicely because they're not too big to fall down. They do have an elastic waist, but they're just so comfortable. And I had some other ones similar to this, but they were really skin tight and I didn't like them. So these feel wonderful. So this is now my favorite top, and this has become my favorite outfit when I don't wear a dress. Actually, it's just a nice change from wearing a dress all the time. So okay, so I got that finished. And then I worked on my Easter dress. This is it Simplicity? Yeah, Simplicity 3061. It's from 1959. It was supposed to be my birthday dress for the Sew Your Birthday Challenge last year. And I didn't get it done because I ran into trouble, but all the trouble is now all done. It's all put together except for the hem. It's a lot of hand stitching because it has a vent in the back, so I've got to go up and around, and it's 1959, so I got to do it right, but I love it. I am so pleased with the fit. I'm so pleased with the whole look, and I will tell you all about it in its own video. I decided that I would make my youngest this Laura Ashley pattern. This is McCall's 4824. And I made it for me. She saw it, she loved it. So I thought, oh good, I'll make that for her. Well, I cut a smaller size because she's smaller than me. Actually, her bust line is not far off of mine, and her waist is markedly smaller, like a lot smaller. And her hips, I don't know if her hips are close to mine. They're probably close to her bust line because she's pretty hourglass. Well, I'm making it out of this microfiber sheet, which you can tell how cute it is. Well, I cut a 10 thinking, yeah, that'll fit her. I got the piping on, I got the bodice put together, and it's too small. Of course it is, because I got the 10. Well, the problem with this, I don't know if you can even see it, because I've taken off the side seams. You can kind of see it. But thankfully, the side seams didn't have any piping, but they only have a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So she really needs another, probably, this is a fairly loose fitting top, so probably another at least 1 inch. So I don't have enough to cut a new bodice, but I have enough to maybe add in some strips on the side. So I've been trying to pattern match, and that's a nightmare in and of itself, because I don't have a piece long enough that matches not to have to sew it. Now on the inside, it's not gonna matter if it matches, but I need 2 sides that match. So I'm kind of working with that. I'll get it, it'll be fine. I also had a visit from my oldest, who also wants this. So she picked out another sheet, and I wondered if it was a little light colored, not really zhuzhy enough for her, but she said no, she loved it. So when I get that done, when I get all these done, I'll tell you all about them. Suffice it to say, she picked it out. I got to get it cut out, and this only goes up to a size D. It's a group 16. Man, you talk about non-size inclusive. She probably needs an 18, so I'm going to have to figure out how to upsize that, to grade it up, and I hope I do it right. The great thing is this is fairly loose fitting around the waist and the bust line, so if I can get that right, that'll be a miracle, won't it? But I'm going to try it. I have a lot of that fabric that she chose, so I think it'll be good. I've also settled on a dress for this shower curtain that I have shown you before. It's fantastic. Just the print on it is so big and such a statement. So this year, the Sew Maxi for Mother's Day challenge, the theme of it is make a statement. Well, that is certainly a statement. And I don't know how I found this, going through my patterns. I think I was putting patterns away, new ones that had, like I'd gotten for free, or I got on my shopping trip when I went up to see Trish at Pinky's Farm. Well, I found this. This is Vogue 9104. It is from 2015, and I think it's going to work beautifully. I'm going to make this one. It does have this, well, let me show you on the line drawings. You can see how it has this split up the front and then this extra piece. Well, I think I can work with that. I think because it's on the bottom, I can probably figure out, I can either cut it in one piece and keep the slit, because you can tell the slip is kind of curved here. I can either cut it in one piece and do it like that, or I can see what it looks like, and I don't know, I may not need to go that far down. I don't know, I'll play around with it and just kind of, lay it out and see how I feel about it. But that is hopefully going to be a Sew Maxi for Mother's Day. Let me talk about challenges here on Instagram for a second. I love them. I love the challenge of trying to find and put together something that meets the challenge. Like there's so many. There's Sew a Blouse for April. There's Sew Maxi for Mother's Day. It seems like we just got finished with Sew Frugal 22. All kinds of them. And I love participating. But this year, I am trying to not put pressure on myself to meet those challenges if I can't. Like, I will do it if I can fit it in, but if I can't fit it in, I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to worry. So, yeah, I will see if I get this done. If I do, great. And if I don't, that's fine too. I did get 2 patterns from the Fabric D-Stash page on Facebook, And I know I have over 1,000 patterns. It's ridiculous that I'm buying patterns, but these are, first of all, Laura Ashley, which I collect. So I'm giving myself a break on that. They're the only two that I bought recently, and I just think they're adorable. The first is McCall's 6875. This is from 2014. It's for little girls, a children's pattern, and it has the matching doll. And this is a size 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I have a 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old grandchild, then I'll be able to use this. Yeah, so just so cute. Very simple, very traditional look. Has a little bit of interest here around the neckline with the bow and everything, but it's just so cute. And the other one, try not to go, oh, well, you will. You will, because I did. This is McCall's from 2004. It's McCall's 4424. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And a little hat. Oh, adorable. Adorable. This has all the sizes in one envelope. And it goes from a small to an extra large. And I don't even know what a small would be. Probably very small. Probably, I don't know, like a 12-month maybe? I don't know. You'll have to tell me because I'm not familiar with these kinds of patterns. But anyway, they're both Laura Ashley. They're both going into the collection, and they're both going into the someday maybe I'll have a grandchild. We'll see. All right, that's all the sewing. Let me move on to life. Life this past week has been one of those hit a roadblock and get paralyzed. I think that a lot of times we do that. We have so many projects going. Well, I don't know about you, but I can have so many projects going that I just get overwhelmed and I don't know what to do first. And so I make a list and then I go to finish one and I hit a roadblock. And so it's like, yeah, that's on hold until I can figure it out. Well, it seems like everything is on hold. Yes, anyway. But like I say, hit a roadblock, totally paralyzed. What am I going to do? Okay, let's put all that aside. I will solve those roadblocks one by one. I think they're totally solvable. It's just a matter of doing it. Okay, question for this week. What is the most expensive fabric you've ever bought? The reason this is the question is because this is tax week in the US. We all have to have our taxes done and submitted. Well, most expensive fabric I've ever bought. I had trouble thinking about this because I don't buy expensive fabric normally. But most recently, it has been the unicorn dress, which I made for number 2 daughter. And she is a fairy queen, would live in fairy tale land if she could. But that dress, that was only going to take maybe 4 yards of fabric. It's Art Gallery rayon, and it was $16 a yard. So I got 4 yards, and then I needed to add more. So I got another 2 yards. And then I needed to add more because I was doing a ruffle on the bottom. So I needed another 2 yards for that. So that got to be a pretty pricey dress. So I don't think that's the most expensive fabric I've ever bought, but it was certainly the most expensive dress I've made in recent years. And that makes me think about this. That Alençon lace was really pricey. Alençon bridal lace is just really pricey, and Alençon lace is that corded lace. I think that's going to do it. I do want to wish you a happy Resurrection Day. That's what my husband calls it, and he thinks that's more apt a day to call it than Easter. But this is Easter weekend, where we in the Christian church celebrate the resurrection of our Lord Jesus. And that is an amazing thing. Our hope is built on that. Our faith is built on that. So, I know not everyone subscribes to that, but I do. And I want to, in case you do, wish you a happy Resurrection Day. Oh, it's a glorious day. So that will do it for Friday Sews. As always, if you ever want to see a playlist of all my Friday Sews, just check right over here. And I will see you next time. Should be very soon. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, who loves you the most? Especially this weekend.